Now, the other logical control statements that we can use other than controlling whether or not we want to execute something based on a condition is how often would we like to execute that something based on a condition. There's a few applications, especially when it comes to limits, as we'll see in a few moments, that when we would like to compute the limit of a function, let's say, or a derivative or an integral, anything along those lines, there's this idea of repeated execution, but the inside part of the execution, something may or may not change, okay? So in this idea of repeated execution, we basically want to run the same statement over and over again until either a fixed condition holds true or we know exactly how many iterations we would like to repeat something. So let me give you a more thorough example here. Suppose that we have 5 people, and we want to so we have 5 people, I'm just going to call them people, equals range 1 to 5. And if you don't remember what that does, perhaps you should go back and look it up. As you can see, we get the numbers. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do what the 6, because I want 5 people. And now you'll see we get 1 to 5, right? So what do we want to do now? Basically what we want to do is say, okay, we in essence want to repeat all of this stuff for each person. So what we can say is person 1, please input your age. And or person, better yet, what I want to do is input people. Let's say the first person, which if you remember is 0, and then please input your age there. And so we basically want to run this multiple times. 3, 4, 5. All I did was just copy and paste all that stuff, okay? So here we go. We have person 0, person 1, person 2, person 3, and then last person 4. I'm sorry, technically person 5. But if you remember how the indexing is working, that's why we have the 4 there. So let's highlight all of that and run it. So person 1, as you can see, let's suppose that person is 20. Sorry, you're underage. Okay, person 2, input your age. Here we go. We have, let's say 10. Well, underage. Person 3, 35. Hey, what would you like? 21. Hey, what would you like? And finally, for person 5, 30. Nice. What would you like to purchase? Okay. So as you can see, repeated this 5 times. However, this, I suppose that I want to repeat this a certain number of times ahead of time, but I don't know what that number is. How would I then go about doing that? Well, what we could do is shorten all of this up. First of all, let's run this 5 times again using logical control. And the logical control that we can use is the for statement, what we call a for loop. Basically, here's what we do. First of all, let's copy and paste the code. Second, what we're going to do is use the for statement. This means repeat the stuff below a certain number of times. We're going to create what's called an iteration variable. It can be anything, you know, that you name it. You say in, and then the range from 1 to 6, or in this case, we can just say people, right? And what we can then do, but you know what, I'm going to do range from 0 to 5. And there we go. We have to tab every one of these. Okay. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to take a moment and think about what that code is going to do.